Good evening, committee chair, committee members. My name is Tim Beeman, the interim assistant director of Public Works, here to discuss agreements for the supply and delivery of chemicals to water, wastewater, and recycled water facilities. The recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute the following agreements for the supply and delivery of chemicals to water, wastewater, and recycled water facilities, each with the initial agreement term ending June 30th, 2025, after which each agreement may extend for 4 additional one-year terms with a fully extended final term ending in June 30th, 2029. List of agreements begins with Agreement 325-00003 with JCI Jones Chemical Inc. in the amount not to exceed $4,525,000 for the supply and delivery of sodium hypochlorite and sodium bisulfite. Agreement number 2, Agreement 325-00004 with North Star Chemical in the amount not to exceed $2,925,000 for the supply and delivery of citric acid, sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide. Agreement 325-00005 with Penco Inc. in the amount not to exceed $7,100,000 for the supply and delivery of ferric chloride and ferrous chloride. Agreement 325-00008 with Kingly Chemical in the amount not to exceed $1,900,000 for the supply and delivery of anti-scalin. Agreement 325-00009 with Aquapulse Chemicals in the amount not to exceed $900,000 for the supply and delivery of hydrogen peroxide. Agreement 325-00010 with Hill Brothers Chemical Company in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for the supply and delivery of aqueous ammonia. And finally, Agreement 325-00011 with Univar Solutions USA Inc. in the amount not to exceed $2,300,000 for the supply and delivery of sodium hydroxide and liquid lime. A little bit of background: the Water Division utilizes 3 sources of water. We have our own groundwater wells. We receive groundwater from United Conservation District and state water through the Cayugas Municipal Water District. We utilize chemicals at each of our treatment facilities and disinfection for our distribution system. A little reminder that the Oxnard wastewater treatment plant is now called the Oxnard Water Resource Recovery Facility. And we do primary and secondary treatment to remove solids from the liquid as part of our treatment process. And at the plant, we use several chemicals for the treatment, including sodium hydroxide, ferric chloride, ferrous chloride, sodium hypochlorite, and sodium bisulfite. The AWPF consists of recycled water treatment through reverse osmosis. And through that process, we use several chemicals very similar to the desalter that we have at water. Purchasing Department released the RFP on January 16th, 2024, about a 4-week bid process, and we received a total of 11 proposals listed below. The proposals were reviewed by the Purchasing Division, members of the Wastewater Division, and members of the Water Division to make sure that we were covered on all boards, with the determination being the previously read vendors were the highest ranked proposals based on the scoring. These included overall responsiveness, experience, history of providing requested services, past record of performance, and of course, cost. Again, here are the listed vendors for each of the chemicals that we mentioned above. To the key points, the costs for these agreements are included in the proposed fiscal year for the 24-25 budget for the City Council's consideration. Also as a reminder, we only pay for the chemicals that are delivered. So if we do not require the full volume that was spec'd out, we do not pay for them. And that concludes our presentation.